Gucci bag. So let me get this straight. You telling me that my Louis Vuitton and my other few designer bags are made in China?
The merchants of people are made in China.
It's anything, it's made in the USA. Oh, nope, China. Made in, not the USA. Oh, nope, that's made in China. Okay, so maybe all of it's made in China.
Do luxury brands make their products in China?
They take almost finished bags from China factories, just do the repackaging and logo installing.
These videos are being shared on TikTok with claims about European designer goods. But is what they're saying true? For something to be labelled made in Europe, it has to go through its last substantial transformation there. That means simply adding a logo or packaging a product in Europe doesn't count, according to experts, even though some production may happen in places like China. Many luxury brands don't share much information about their manufacturing outside Europe. Louis Vuitton's website, for example, says its leather goods are exclusively produced in our workshops in Europe and the US. And Gucci says 95% of their manufacturers are based in Italy.
Quite a lot of what other brands claim, that 95% of their facilities are in Italy. That is only true indeed for the very last stage of production.
Meanwhile, Lululemon told BBC Verify about 3% of its goods are made in China, but so they don't work with the manufacturers identified in the videos spreading online. Some Chinese companies claim to make products for big name brands, but while they may look similar, the quality often isn't the same.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
Right, so in today's episode, I'm especially very excited about this one because we'll be featuring bougie black Americans who've been buying brand products here. Their reactions to China exposing these big luxury brands, yeah?
Right, and what I love about this trade war, initially it started as a punishment, and most Americans thought that Chinese people were being punished, but a few black Americans knew that the tariffs would ultimately go back to Americans.
Yeah, you know? And this raises the question, guys, how many of you always watch these luxury brands and those people who can afford them? Even these videos on TikTok where people go and ask others, what do you do for a living, and they're carrying luxury brands, yeah? Personally, to be honest, if I had money, a girl loves shopping. I feel like maybe I'd be one of these people, you know.
That is Maren. You know, we are twins, but we don't always agree on everything, right? Because personally, if we had money, I feel like I'd be one of those people who would buy anything so long as it serves the purpose.
That's yet to be seen. Wait until we have the money.
Okay, but as me speaking from this point of view right now, so long as the bag is good and it can do the job, I'll buy it. But we like you lose an arm.
Guys, we are coming back.
Right, will I lose an arm to buy an expensive watch? If I can get the same watch in this other market, why not?
You'd be surprised. But guys, we're coming back with our remarks. Let's just watch the video and then we come back with our commentaries. You can let us know in the comment section what you think about this episode. Also consider subscribing if it's your first time here, right?
Right.
Let's watch and then we come back.
So let me get this straight. You telling me that my Louis Vuitton and my other few designer bags are made in China?
Your made in Italy Gucci 80% come from Chinese factory.
Listen, I ain't even mad at it. I ain't even mad. I'm mad I spent this much money on these bags. If they are saying that Birkins are being made in China, you already know that Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Chanel, and everybody else is being made in China. That's why I am never impressed by all the money that people spend on these bags. Never be impressed, baby. Never be impressed, because your bag, our bags, was made in China. I am about to crash out. Seriously, I'm crashing out. China, they on our ass. Let me tell you something. Y'all see all these damn bags that I have? Okay? These are the bags they're talking about. Like, I have a Birkin, a Fendi, a Louis. I've never even used this bag yet. A Chanel, Louis, Fendi, Chanel, Gucci, Louis. And you're telling me what I have spent on all these bags, I could have went to China and got them and not spent all this money? China, I'm coming. But let me just show you all the bags that I actually really have. Look at this. Jack Moose, Louis, Hermes, Louis, Dior, 3 Chanels, Fendi, YSL, Chanel, Louis, Chanel, Louis, Gucci, Chanel. All of this stuff that I spent my hard-earned money on, all of this, are you freaking telling me that I overpaid for all of this shit? Let me go on Expedia or whatever and find me an airline ticket to China, because I'm coming to see y'all. Look for me. And I also want to add that this Louis wallet, it legit say made in France. Made in France. I am now checking all my shit. China. I'm coming.
Baby, I done seen so many Chinese manufacturing videos and how to ship door to door from China to avoid the tariff videos this morning. Also, did you know they're selling ready-made houses over there for $10,000? Ready to ship, delivered, the DHL way. That's crazy. But that besides the point. Damn near every live I stroll by, somebody from China selling luxury handbags, luxury watches. I done seen the Rolex for about $50. Hey man, I know for a fact won't be now another extension around this motherfucker. It won't be now another extension. And what's the buddy? Sin Bags, who's selling the luxury purses and stuff. He listening to Gunno Lavish. Stop being humble, fuck nigga. You letting all these luxury handbag companies pop their shit. It's time for you to pop your shit there. Hey, they let the cat out the bag. Now, I just need to know how I can get a Mac without the Apple on it. If one thing tell me that, I'm good. I'm straight there.
So basically, we aren't worth anything unless we got an American stamp on our behind. You're telling me that America has all you rich and famous people looking stupid. You fake it. You fake. You ain't the real thing. You got that little cheapo Gucci bag. You telling me that the Gucci bag, we could go get a Gucci bag from China for $300? So all the bags that people used to say that I had was fake. All the bags that people used to say that I had was fake. Oh, that's from China. That ain't worth nothing. You told me I got rid of that shit. You got to be kidding me. I had a real Gucci bag? Oh no. See, so basically nothing is worth anything unless it's got an American tag on it. When you come to America, everything is gonna go up. The prices is gonna go up. Everything's gonna go up but your paycheck. They're taking us for granted. We work hard every day and we get the same bull crap, and they doing this. And then people, look, this shirt is from Shein. Shein company, it is good quality. If I went to that TJ Maxx, Marshalls, even Lululemon, this shirt would be $50. Or at a boutique selling it for $50. And I got it for $7 off of Shein. This is good quality. It's just because we're here. It's because that we're in America busting our butt that our stuff got to be expensive because they want to kick all the poor people out and put rich people in here. That's why in my city, everything in there, they're changing all it used to be a low income town. And now it's booming. They putting big houses in there because they trying to move all the poor people out. That's what the world has came to, y'all. It's ridiculous.
So now we know why America really didn't want us to see what they was doing over in China. And if you don't know, click the search bar and see how China just exposed America. That designer that you've been spending your money on, $200, $300, $400, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, all of your hard-earned money basically been going to knockoffs. If that's what y'all want to call them, Canal Street specials, if I might say. China is basically saying that your favorite designer gets their bags, their clothes, their shoes made in China, not Italy. So when you thinking you getting the finest of threads, you getting them from China. And now China is saying that they got them for the low, like they been had them, but they just not keeping it a secret no more. So what they're saying is that designer that we've been wearing, they've been making, and they make them for cheaper, and we might as well not buy that designer that we've been buying. It's kind of strange to me because a lot of people been losing their lives to get designer. It's a lot of people that lost their lives over designer. And you're telling me that China's been making it? All I can say is this trade war is exposing the real from the fake and the fake from the real. If that makes sense. I'm out.
Hey, Mercedes.
Yes?
Were you made in China? Oh, she's not answering. Were you made in China? Oh, stop. Hey, Mercedes.
How can I help?
Where were you made?
In the cloud.
Oh, that is not answering my question. Where were you made, Mercedes?
Sorry, something went wrong.
Oh, no, don't do this. Ah! Hey, Mercedes.
How may I help you?
Where were you made?
Between Sindelfingen, Berlin and Sunnyvale.
Ah, okay.
I cannot tell you how much I am enjoying all of this back and forth discourse on TikTok regarding luxury goods and where they're actually made. I've been screaming this forever. Even if I was a billionaire, do not believe that I would spend the money on luxury goods. And I'll tell you why. I've known this about China and how they produce a majority of the luxury goods for years. I worked for a major fashion women's retailer. I worked at their headquarters for 22 years. Most all of our products were made overseas in China. I had lots of dealings with different vendors, and this is the way business is done. China is cheap labor. If you think your luxury goods are any different, they're just not. You have been brainwashed. This is why I really have to hold my tongue sometimes when I see people come on and bash the Yellow App girlies that are, putting their links, like myself. Like I purchase from the Yellow App quite often, and the reason I purchase is because I know from years of experience, I know that the handbag quality, that the quality of the leather, that the quality is the same. Now, are there some bad ones? Yes, absolutely. Do you have to be discerning and do your homework and do your research and purchase from reputable sellers? Yes. But don't ever come for the Yellow App girlies, because we know, and we've been knowing this secret for a very long time. There is no need, there is no sense in spending and soaking thousands of dollars. And I see some of these young girls that are taking entire savings, or they're going through Afterpay and doing these huge payments on bags that cost thousands of dollars that are no better quality than the ones you can get direct from China. Don't be fooled by these luxury corporations. If you want to spend thousands of dollars on something, go put it into yourself, put it into your body, put it into a trip, take a cruise, go somewhere, go to Italy. Do the things that really are worth the money, because I can tell you right now, those designer bags are not it, girls. They're not it. You would be shocked.
One bag costs 6,150 from the boutique, the other 300 made by me.
Have you guys seen that TikTok video that the Chinese guy posted about exposing how luxury goods are made? Basically, most of the luxury brands we use every day are made in China, then shipped to Europe and sold to consumers at a premium. A wedding ring that we can buy for $2, they turn it into $2,000. China is the world's largest processing plant. You buy Gucci, 80% is made in China, Prada, 60% is made in China. Even Chanel, Fendi, Louis Vuitton, Adidas, Nike, etc. The only difference here is that China sends them to Europe and they put some little label on them that says made in France, made in Italy. It's ridiculous. While people are still criticizing H&M for being cheap and of poor quality, those expensive and good products that you think are made in France and Italy are actually from China. So what do you have to worry about? Come on, your MAGA hats are made in China. And now President Trump has imposed an additional 144% tariff on China. Vice President J.D. Vance called the Chinese peasants. They're out of line. If you don't let me do my business, we can't do ours.
Some say as long as there's a tag saying made in China, the bag can never be luxury. However, in fact, more than 80% of the luxury bags in the world are made in China. But those luxury brands just won't acknowledge that. They take almost finished bags from China factories back to their own factories and just do the repackaging and logo installing, something like that. That way, the bags will appear at their boutiques as made in Italy or made in France. You know, those sophisticated European countries, which make you feel mysterious, royal, and thus luxury. Now, close your eyes. Let's just do a little, very easy experiment in your head, okay? Imagine that you have an Hermes bag, and suddenly the label on it changed from made in France into made in China, while everything else, like leathers, zippers, and hardware, remain the same. Do you suddenly feel that your bag is not as luxury as before? If you do, that means you have been misled and poisoned by the market campaign of those luxury brands for too long. Welcome to the real world. Now you see, those bags are made in China by our intelligent and diligent Chinese artisans. Let's not be poisoned and misled by the market campaign any longer and be a real person. Buy a bag from us, from our factory in China. See the real world for yourself.
So guys, welcome back. Let us know what you think about the episode we just played here. As we were saying earlier in the introduction, I feel like, to be honest, you'd be surprised out here, Maureen, the kind of things people who have money buy. Just to say, people can buy even an egg, an exclusive egg.
Limited edition egg.
Yeah, just because they said it's limited edition and it's overpriced for nothing. So you'd be surprised the kind of uniqueness rich people want to buy,
I get that.
Yeah, and I feel like just for the experience, because there are people literally out here who are ultra rich and they don't know what to do with their money.
Because
they've
be done everything.
Exactly, and they just have all that money just sitting around, And there are those kind of setups where people, when you walk inside, people already know. Like when you go to this place, somebody's gonna know if you have a fake watch. Somebody's gonna know if you have this and that. And I do believe that people who engage in this exclusive brand buying, purchasing, they do know these things, and there's normally something they normally look
that
towards
can
attracting.
be used to tell. I do get that point.
Yeah, they normally want to
it.
attract something by dressing that kind of way.
And the funniest thing is that someone actually jogged people's memory and thinking capacity. So this Black American woman was saying, what guarantee do you actually have that in as much as Chinese producers are claiming that both the legitimate big brand items look the same as their own, and the qualities are more or less the same, if not the Chinese people having more quality than these other ones. And she said that for Chinese people to produce these items in mass, sometimes someone might underplay the quality. And right now, they're just in this hype. Most of them are lying to Americans so that Americans can go and promote their businesses. what guarantee do you have that the same quality you are getting there? Yeah, they're not refusing that. Okay, some of these bags that are found in France, in America, have been made in China, but the quality still is the issue. You get?
That makes a very good point, because guys, there's this YouTuber, a white person who came. I think he's a content creator. Also, he's a developer in Ghana, but he's a
Real
white man.
estate developer.
Exactly, a white man from America. So he was talking about how in Africa you really find good things that are not even don't belong to big brands. Like for example, leather bucket, leather jar, bags. He was gifted a leather bag
by a Kenyan. It was a businessman from Kenya,
and
he
it was
owns
a made in
the brand.
Exactly, it was a made in Kenya brand.
Product.
Yeah, and I don't remember what he calls himself or what his brand is called, but this man got the bag and he couldn't stop talking about it. To be honest, when he was showcasing the bag, he didn't say he was advertising it, just to show the quality, and the quality was really, really good. You know,
because he says normally when he travels with other kinds of bags, when he gets to his destination, sometimes the bags are torn up and what not, especially because of how it's being handled in the airport. And this one was like really strong. And it stood the test of time with that airport.
Right. And guys, I remember when, I think growing up, there was a time I used to hear made in Italian leather, and I was
genuine Italian leather,
and it used to be quite a big deal. Right now, what you hear are Italian suits, but the question you have to ask yourself is, where's the raw material coming from?
And also the Italian leather. Nowadays, they don't say genuine Italian leather.
Exactly.
They say genuine leather.
Right.
Because another very influential and very well-informed TikToker came on TikTok, and she was trying to explain the reason why genuine Italian leather ceased to exist and now they just call it genuine leather. And it is because this leather was being gotten from, I don't know which place in Nigeria, and these people actually tried to sue Italy for that. The people who are outsourcing those raw materials from Nigeria. And this creator was saying, if you compare those genuine leather from Italy and the genuine leather that is being used by those people to create products like shoes, they're completely identical. So that is why they stopped saying genuine Italian leather and just simply say genuine leather.
Yeah, and the funny thing, guys, is that do you know, even rich people, there are those ones who indulge in buying these exclusive luxury brands, and they can't even pronounce. To be honest, personally, Louis Vuitton.
Which brand can't you pronounce?
Louis Vuitton. I don't even know if that's the correct spelling. You know, some of these you can't even pronounce the brand, but for some people it's very important to have them. You know, which personally, me, I'm not bashing anybody, because I've said, even me, if I had money, to be honest, I see a girl buying something good just to have, you know, because you can afford it, just to tell yourself, you know, you're gonna spoil yourself.
Yeah, and amidst all these tariff wars and whatnot, I feel like Chinese people coming to expose the big brands and whatnot, that was at least a light moment in this period, because these tariffs were putting people into a very, very gloomy situation. And right now, people have been given alternatives if they can't afford the said labels, you know.
And there was a TikToker who was also trying on the economic side, trying to explain this trade tariff wars. And he was saying the American president is not putting those tough tariffs in order to punish the consumer. Instead, he said the way he was looking at it, it was to punish the big brands and the big corporations like Nike and all. That's allegedly. It's what the person say. I'm just repeating.
The TikToker alleged.
Exactly. I think I have one of his videos here. So he was saying that these tariffs, they're aimed and they're targeting not the consumer but the brands themselves, because you find, like, he gave an example like Nike, they don't have their manufacturing whatever in America. They have it outside America, places like China, Vietnam, you know, they have their manufacturing companies there where they get their materials and they get their shoes made, and then they import the shoes, the already made product shoes, into America. So whatever expense they're going through in those foreign countries is very, very cheap compared to when they
they
are
bring it
gaining,
in,
the profit they are getting.
Exactly, from their clients. And he was saying, he gave an example of, let's say Nike incurs a $10 cost during production, and then maybe China or Vietnam. Sorry guys, our backlight went off. We had to put it on charging real quick here. So I was saying, so for example, Nike incurs a $10 cost of production, and plus what is it called, the tax, which drives it up to $12, yeah. So when they import it into America and they sell it, remember the production cost was $10 plus the tax, which drove it to $12. They get to America, they sell it to their consumers at $100. You see there, they've made like almost 10 times the profit, yeah. And that does not compare to the kind of taxes they get.
Pay.
Exactly. So he was saying these tariffs, they're aimed at targeting not the consumer but the producers and these big corporations, because that what is it called, the tax is not going to go to the consumer, but they want to get the tax from the corporation so that they can pay tax in America, you know. So I listened to this guy and I was like, also that makes sense, but what is the end game, what is the end goal, and what is gonna be the outcome, you know?
Yeah.
So guys, as this
and I also noticed the lady who had on a black robe. She kept saying that the bags she had on her closet were very expensive. I wish she could have told us how much she bought the bags.
For what? Would you have been able to afford them?
Well, I'm sure maybe I wouldn't be able to afford them, but I would like to compare it to the prices of homes in Kenya.
Okay.
So that I can see how many people anyway, because she seems like she was complaining because it was a lot of money, you know. So guys, I don't know, let us know what you think about this episode, and also consider subscribing if you're new to our channel.
Right, all I have to say is, as this trade wars go on, I feel like I'm going to have to enjoy these ones, because I think I don't know if it was 2 days ago or a day ago, I've seen creators from America talk about how Trump imposed a 245% tariff on China, and I was like, it was just the other day we heard about the 145%, and we thought that was high.
It was 145 or 104%.
Yeah, tariff, and now it has gotten to 245%, and I'm like, okay.
But you know, eventually someone will have to calm down, because at the end of the day, no man is an island. In this case, no country is an island. Countries depend on each other for trading purposes and other things.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, let us know your thoughts and opinion on this. As usual, Luna, thank you so much for joining us. Let's catch you on the next episode. Consider subscribing if it's your first time here, right?